Welcome to Crazy Shit in Real Estate, a weekly podcast where I walk you through some of the wildest, most unbelievable stories you'll hear from the world of real estate. If you like real estate and you love crazy, this is the podcast for you. Before we get any further into this episode, I've got some information to share.
Oh, it's true. Real estate is super competitive and harder than you expected. That's why I created Leigh Brown University. It's everything you need to take you from point A to point whatever your goal is. You could be new to the business or a seasoned vet. I'll help you break through to the next level so that your professional life can look exactly like you desire. Enroll in Leigh Brown University today. I'll help you get there.
So Chris, in all of those investments and working with that many homeowners and buyers and sellers in real estate, managing a team, I know you've seen something that makes you say, y'all are never going to believe what happened to me today. So that's the story I want you to tell our listeners today. What you got?
All right. I mean, this is crazy. This is one of those things where I had to say, is this real life? And like, it happened, like this is on movies. This doesn't happen to me. So I went and met with, actually one of the guys on my team went and met with this guy who had an auction. He basically had stuff coming and the guy, he needed to sell fast. And so he brought me in and I was like, well, I'll buy it. If you really need to sell this fast, I'll buy it from you. So we created a partial owner finance deal where he kept the note on it. It's called a subject to, where basically he left his note in place and he was going to leave it in place until I flipped the house. I was going to buy him a house in West Virginia for $75,000 in cash and give him $25,000 up front and then give him the rest of it later. He was perfectly happy with it. Everything was good. Well, then, oh my gosh, I still cannot believe this happened. And then all of a sudden I am meeting with somebody. I'm doing a job interview with somebody who wants to join our real estate team. And I'm sitting there at Panera and all of a sudden I had a Fitbit watch at the time. This is years ago. Had a Fitbit watch and my watch just starts going crazy on my wrist. Like it just doesn't stop buzzing. And I'm like, okay, like, why is it wigging out? Because every once in a while, I moved to an Apple Watch, every once in a while the Fitbit watches would wig out on me. And so then finally I look and on my phone, I had 34 missed calls. And I was like, oh, something's weird here. And then I look, it's my brother, my wife, and Teddy, the guy on our team that brought the deal. And so what happened was my wife was driving down the street and she heard about a home explosion in the area, in the county that our house was. She's like, well, we have a house in that county. And so she looked it up and it's on the same street. It says the name of the street. And she's like, we have a house on that street. And we find out that the guy just all of a sudden, he's like, you know what? I was going to lose my house anyway. And I'm just tired of this. And so literally, I kid you not, he shot his dog. He shot himself. He was a former plumber. He rigged gas. His utilities had been turned off long ago. He rigged gas from the street into his house so that it would blow up. It blew up his house. It blew up the neighbor's house. It blew up, like there were 17 other houses impacted by it and 12 cars were totaled. That was mine. So the crazy thing is, we had signed, but there was a blizzard, like in the DC area, there's not blizzards. There's a massive snowstorm the day before. So we were not able to get the abstract back on title. And so the title companies put it as an incomplete settlement addendum saying, if there are no issues on title, we go through with this. I had paid a bunch of money to stop the auction and everything else. And so thank the Lord, like I called the title attorney and he was like, well, if there's ever an issue on title, this one would be it.
I'll do it.
So I had the choice between going forward with it, which all my attorneys said I would probably be in court almost every day for the next few years, but insurance would cover it and I would make a fortune, or I could let it go, just lose the 10 grand that I paid to get everything set. And I was just like, and actually I had a mentor of mine who said this to me. He sold a satellite company for $1 bazillion. He said, Chris, every time I'm focused on excellence, I make a fortune. Every time I chase money, I always get in trouble. And he's like, right now, if you go after that, you're probably going to chase money and it's probably going to bite you. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like wise advice to me. I'm going to take it.
Oh, you're enjoying this little clip? Well, the rest of the story is available on any of your podcast apps. Just go search for and subscribe to Crazy Shit in Real Estate with Leigh Brown.